Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? It's Friday, yay! Oh, it's finally Friday. Finally Friday. I should open up a reel. How are you? Open! You think I'd open it by now? But why? That's the point. I can wait. Hey, Leo. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. It's Volcano Day. Today you learn about abstract classes. What does that mean? How what is a class that is abstract, like in your imagination? Oh, no, that's imaginary. What is an abstract class? I mean, what is the definition of abstract? Existing in thought as an idea, but not having a physical concrete. Is that what abstract means? Theoretical? So I was right when I said imaginary. It's basically the same thing. So what? Related to abstract art. Yeah, which is scribbles, but so what you talking about? Go on class settings on any actor and look at the abstract class setting. Hold on. Pull up some stuff still. I'll take a look in a bit. Feel free to give me a TLDR. I had a nap earlier today during lunch. It was nice. It was a nice nap. I actually changed up my I actually woke up an hour later today, and I'm gonna go to sleep later. I'm gonna see if going back to just like shifting my sleep schedule 1 hour later will help. Because usually that's the problem with me. Is I like going to sleep basically at midnight and waking up at 8. But I've been doing 11 to 7. Can't say I'm out of sleep, but it changes where I have more time after I finish streaming to just like, you know, ease out. So hopefully that'll help with the whole, you know, not getting enough sleep without actually changing. But to be fair, it's also the weekend, so I'll be able to catch up. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up. And then this weekend, we will do the tutorial for chaos destruction or whatever it's called. It's just fracturing. I don't know if it's actually chaos destruction. I don't know what it's called in Unreal. Generate abstract class is the name of the setting. Basically, what it does is instead of having information within that class, you use it as a template for other classes. Isn't that just called the parent? I mean, the parent also has information, but is the parent with less information? What is the benefit of it? Why would I want to make it an abstract thing versus just using a parent-child setup? What is the benefit? You're good. Yeah, just throw it on the Discord. Or in Discord. On the Discord. Is it on? On the... Is it in the I guess in the Discord channel. I don't know. But my brain is still... my brain doesn't brain. It's one brain cell. It's like, what do you want? What do you want from me? I don't understand. Don't understand. And when I don't understand, I get confused, and then my brain starts to hurt, and then I get annoyed at myself for not understanding, and that's usually a big cycle. That's usually how it is. But anyway, today we're doing Volcano Day. Volcano Day, I guess we'll call it. Because we finished up Dragothrax's basement meteor attack and then the ice meteor attack. So the next one is the fire volcano attack. And basically what I want to do is spawn a volcano. And every certain amount of time I want it to go up. And then when it reaches the top, then it becomes an erupting volcano. Like it starts shooting things that, you know, if it hits you, it'll take damage. Or it'll spawn something that'll deal damage. But I think, or both. And if you hit it, it will go down. So that's the idea. I also wanted to shake as it goes up. But that's for later. Once we start getting to further. Let's see this thing you linked. How's the quest system? Interaction system. It's somewhere in here. I guess, probably. Whether or not this boosters class is an abstract class or not, should set class _ abstract is in the Kismet compiler, which I don't even know what that is. I'll look through it at some point in the future. I'll look at some point in the future. You can see partway in the middle section for quest system. Posted that along with the link. You can always post with time code embedded. That's okay. I'll find it. When I get a chance, I'll take a look at what the hell it is. I've never heard of anyone mentioning it before. So my guess is it's probably not something that's everyone uses. It's probably like a very situational thing. That's my only guess. Okay, so Mr. Dino here. We got him to not attack us. You know, before I do the... See, I'm already derailing. Before I do... Before I start the phase, I want to fix the projectile attacks. Because the problem is, if I do this, or I guess it's not this one, it's more of Airblade. Airblade has no effect on hits, and so you can't tell it hits anything. It doesn't spawn in anything. So I want to change where the projectiles spawn, and I want to ignore the player, so I can have it spawn like near the start where the player is. Cause it's just it doesn't work right now. So let's rework the projectile real quick. It was new about blueprint interfaces and components usage, but not abstract classes. Yeah, I have not heard of it. Is it something that is used with C++, or it's still blueprint stuff? I gotta go class settings. Alright, it's right there. I don't know what this class underscore abstract. That's C++ work, right? That's C++. I don't know what a Kismet compiler is. I've never heard of this. Generate const class still confuses me. I don't know. I don't touch. Why would I want to check deprecate? Deprecate the blueprint in all child blueprints to make it no longer placeable in the world, nor child classes created from it. Why would I want to do this? I don't understand. I don't understand why would I create something that is deprecated? So for like internal stuff, like they're making, like I understand, but I just don't use it or something. I don't know. There's probably use cases for all of them, but it's probably all niche. That's my guess. Those other tabs. It can be used for things like quest systems or achievements or things of that nature. How so? Like what does it do? Like that. Like what is about it that makes it useful for those things? Oh, collision. Character overlap, yes. World static block, yes. Pawn overlap. I want to turn off this stuff. I'm blocking only world static. Overlapping pawn, overlapping character. Hey, Frecto. Welcome in. How's it going? I'm doing well. Gonna lurk without sound today, but to celebrate your successful Friday eruption, you should watch Ron Jeremy rendition of Miley Cyrus running. Why? I don't know who Ron Jeremy is, nor do I care about Miley Cyrus's music or Miley Cyrus. I see no reason to do this. But I'll take into consideration. Where there's multiple different achievement conditions or quests that each have similar structures for implementing it, but under the hood have different requirements to meet those conditions. I mean, that just sounds like simple blueprint logic, irrelevant of... I mean, I'll probably just need to watch the video. So that's mark followed by a Y, and that's good enough for me. Pretty pretty sure there's uh is there live closed captions? I imagine Twitch doesn't have them, but YouTube might. So I'll just do, here's what we can do. On begin overlap, check that the other actor is not equal to Oni actor. That should help with some stuff. Unavailable closed captions. Anyway, I'm gonna go continue working on the projects, on the questions. No worries. Best of luck. Thanks, Tom. Bye. I will continue being here, working on my stuff. Okay. So now we have this. So let's, so that's all still working. I want to go to the player. And we go to the projectile attack. And I change projectile start offset to be 0. And I'll set it to be 0 on hold start heavy. And I'll put it to be, instead of 75, it'll be 0 here as well. Like that's, I mean, honestly, that's better. So that seems like it's better. Okay. Then we go to air blade. No projectile start offset. Zero, 0, heavy. Just put all the offsets to 0. Hey, good guts, welcome in. How's it going? You doing well? I'm doing all right. You know, all right. I love how that's a global emote on 70. Let's go with the big one. I think the problem is there's no effect. I'm fixing up the projectile thing before I get into the volcano fire meteor ability thing. So I'm just quickly making it so the projectiles don't have that minimum range. They spawn like right where the player is basically and then go out. Let's take a look though at air quick. So does it not have, oh, it does not have an impact effect. Excuse me. That's why it has no impact effect. Let's give it an impact effect. I thought we had one. Thank you. We probably use like the web one. Maybe? All right, this one's purple for some reason. I can use this and modify it to be white. Maybe. It just needs something. It just needs something. So if I do this one, and this is going to be air blade explosion. Right, we just need to change the... Was it this thing that was green? No, this is not where the content is. Scale color, there it is. Desaturated. Okay, and then scale color. Desaturated. There we go. That's a little puff of smoke. So now we can use that in here. Ah, well, it's a Niagara system. And this impact effect is made for Cascade. Okay, so we're gonna need to change. Okay. Okay. I really should clean this up. I really should clean this up. Dear God. Scooch it all over. So this checks if it's valid. If it is not valid, then we need to spawn system at location. System template will need to be promoted. Variable. This is Niagara system, which will go under here. This is Niagara impact effect, actually. And we're going to check if it is valid. If it is valid, we're going to do this. And then we're going to continue on. If it's not valid, then we're just going to continue. Relatively simple, but man, is this place a mess. Why am I checking for initial overlap? I guess the initial overlap was to check. I don't think I need to do the initial overlap anymore because we're now just checking that's not the owner. So this I think we can get rid of. Let's get rid of this real quick, and I'm going to just double check that it still all works. And if it does without issues, then yeah, all works without issues. Okay. Cool. So we can get rid of this whole not initial overlap crap. The, previous me was stupid enough to add. So then we just need the false. So then the false will go to the true here. This will just be that. And yeah, here it'll be the false. True. Just kill all of this. Clean this up a little. Remove all that. Remove this. KKK. Why is this not connected? Well, so this shouldn't be the Oni actor's location. Right, because I didn't accidentally disconnect that just now. That was disconnected before. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was disconnected before, so I can just delete that. Okay. So what this is checking is if it was an overlap, and if it is using the overlap, we're using that. If it's not the overlap, why? This already gets me the right information. Why are we doing... What is the point of this?
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
What is the point of this if we're just overwriting it here? I want to try. Oh, is this better? Probably it's better. I don't get more of a, effectively a sort of a rim from that light, sort of. But it does make it so that is the brightest area, right? Decisions. Maybe I should do it this way from now on. Not have the light in the back turn on. I have, for reference, I have two like standing lights, a bigger one right there and a smaller version behind me, and that's both like to control just this whole area that get turned on with the same command. But no, well, right now I turned the back one off for streaming, but they're both there for just lighting up because this is a large area. Yeah. Yeah, they're that way for lighting them in place. I'm going to just push this information through. I'm just going to see what happens. But I just turned the one behind me off because I'm like looking at it, I'm like, maybe it's better off when I'm streaming. Okay, this is still fine. No issues here. Any issues with this? There's no issues with this. So why? Any issues with Airblade? Well, obviously this will not affect that. See, I'm not questioning past me. Why did past me... Why did past me do this? Now, my money is on past me being correct and current me just forgetting why he's correct. But because current me can't figure out why he's correct, I'm just going to say, never mind, I changed my mind. And just, you know, remove it. It's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. The reason why we're doing this is for this effect. The location of this effect should be this still. The rotation is 0. The scale is still U. I could... Also, the event graphs, I can't do local variables. Oop. That's fine. Auto activate, auto destroy. So now what we can do theoretically is Airblade explosion. We plug into Niagara impact effect. There we go. Go a little poof. I think it should be like slightly blue, like a light blue, not a full white. But let's tweak that scale color. Maybe something like that. That could be good. Yeah, like that. You know, might want to make it a little bit bigger. Which we can do here in the impact scale. Let's say double scale. Is it scaling double? It's so hard to tell. Hold on, does this not work? Because I think they're both still the same size. Oh no, they're scaling. Oh, they're definitely scaling. Okay, let's do... Then double is just not enough. Try 5x. I mean, I guess that's fine. It's something, right? It's better than nothing, which is what it was. Because now if I hit him at point blank range, at least there's some kind of visual feedback. Ooh. Hold on, what was that? Why did that appear there? Okay, I think I understand why I had it at... okay, now I understand my previous mistake. So, but we could do is, if it's an initial overlap... Then we can do actor location. So what if we did a select here and instead did initial overlap? Right? And if it is an initial overlap, then we do get actor location. All those good guts. Go hang out, have fun, enjoy your Friday. Okay, so this still all's fine, but why is it there? Why are you there? Oh, I didn't do the same thing here. For the other one, which is important. Oh, but that still doesn't work. Why? It gets... Wait, why is it 23, 27? That's definitely very different. Why was it the 23, 27? Where's that coming from? What do we predict? Is that the actor location? It's probably not, right? No, the problem is... Well, you know what? Hold on. Why am I spawning this? I just do spawn at impact at actor location and just call it a day. I don't need to use this impact point. It's just for the projectile. And if it hits somewhere, that is the impact point. I mean, it would be a little bit... I guess it depends on the size of the projectile. The middle of the projectile will not be, like, close to the body, potentially. But that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I just do this. What if I just do this? This is the impact point with an offset, but why do I need the impact point with an offset? Place out and location does not need an offset. Spawn, the gravity push pull, we might need an offset for. So here's what we can do then. Instead of all of that, we can just have this come from here. There. We can have it go actually in here. And this continue. So it'll just affect, the offset will just be for the gravity stuff. Which I think is going to be a lot better. There we go. That should be better. So now the effects should be consistent between him and me. See, when it does this, because of the size of the projectile, it's not quite in the right location. So I understand why it was the way it was. Right, I understand why. What we can do is add an offset here. That would be better. I think that would be better. So then this can be a promoted variable. This can be a impact location offset. And by default, we can make this 50. Reorganize this a bit. It's not great, but it's better. It's fine. I don't know why I'm taking this much time to clean up the paths. It's fine. So by default, it'll be 50. Let's see how it is at 50 by default. You know what it needs to be? It needs to be scaled by it needs to be, might not need to be a variable. It could be a set value, because I think it needs to be based off of the box collision. Get box extent. In X. I think we need that. I think it's because the bigger it is, right, the more you need to move it, but that'll just do it automatically then. I mean, that's pretty good. That looked pretty good. So you get impact point? Yeah. That's pretty much where I'd want it. Mathematical. Yeah. No variable needed. Okay. Do I want to, only other question is, do I want to put all of this down below? And the only reason I'm thinking that is because of this crossing over. And this way it doesn't need to cross over. We can then do it this way. I can do that with you. This up is just a mess and I want it cleaner. Is that too much to ask? This is additional, so the order doesn't matter. Scale from above now. Is there some way of not having them all tinted yellow? Basically, I just don't want the wires all tinted yellow. I know they're all vectors, but Okay. Probably remove this. Actually, this is better. Ta-da! It's a little bit cleaner. Make a comment on these. This is our gravity abilities. Okay, this is our effects. Impact effects. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So theoretically, the problem we had before is not fixed. Theoretically. Right? The effect now happens where we want it. At point blank range, it also happens where we want it. And now it all makes a lot more sense. Now, why aren't you hitting me? Hold on. Why did I take no damage? When he attacked me. Take damage there. But here... Go. Do it, hit me. Okay, so it's not all fixed. Why do I take no damage? What is the other actor? It should say me when he attacks me. Yep, it says VP player. VP player. So, what's the problem? What's the problem? It should be going all the way through. Yeah. Yeah, it's going through. So, because the effect is going. What is the target here? Interesting. No target. So it thinks nothing was traced here. Is that it? Hit me. Okay. So we're finding the problem area. And that's here. Let's do a debug. Uh-huh. But now if you do it on me, it should work. Whoa, hold on. Why is that one there? Why are those locations where they are? It's because I think I need to do the same thing I did here for the location. Instead of where I'm doing now, if I did this, because basically what I was doing before is I was using one trace / hit and making it use the information from that one for the other one. But when it's a hit and when it's a trace is one thing. But if it's overlapping, the information is not all information's there, because it doesn't have the sweep information, which is where it gets all the stuff. So maybe what I'm doing now is probably gonna be better. Hit me. Why did I just take 50? Why did I take 50 damage? Hold on a second. Excuse me? Should be 25. 25.
Here. Pausing for ads.
25. Okay. Wait. Why was there a 50? Why was there a 50? Because no matter how you look at it, unless it triggered twice, which it shouldn't, the damage modifier is 1. I should have this exposed, actually. I'll expose it after, so we can scale the damage of the projectiles. I thought we did... Wait, we did that for the web. Oh, no, it's because... I do the calculations outside of there. Outside of this projectile, before it spawns, all the damage calculations done there, instead of in here, which it's fine. That's why the attack damage multiplier doesn't matter. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if he deals 50 points of damage. That's not good. But again, both of those were 25. Ah, okay. So because he's so big, if I get in just the right place, if, 'cause, 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 ' if I get in just the right place, it misses me. What I could try doing is I got all the radiuses here, the radius math, the multipliers. I mean, I can just increase his information. To be fair, let's just increase. Do I want to just increase his ability? Exposure damage radius 200. Let's make it 250. Really, it should be like 270 because he's just a big boy. Yeah, I'll make it like 275. Because it should be, realistically, the explosion damage radius should be, at the very least, half of your collision half height, right? Because it needs to reach the ground, basically. So, you know what we can do to get around this is here. We can do a max float. And then owning actor, we can get the capsule collision component. And then it gets the half height. Scaled capsule half height. Yeah, he gets scaled. And basically, whichever one is bigger, it will use that at the bare minimum. So we can always increase it past this value, but it'll never decrease. It might be good, it might be bad. We'll play around with it. Hit me. Right, that's a big radius, to be fair. But it works. Now, the blood splatter thing there, gotta adjust. But it makes sense. Also considering the size of the explosion. He's stuck. Okay. So I think we go with that. Let's fix up the what? Did not connect. Let's fix up the blood pool spawning stuff. I think we're good on the projectile. I'll give it one more test just to be 100% sure with my own attacks. Right? And it's because the hit location, again, is the wrong location. Because again, the hit location needs to be this. Can I just... because I'm using it here, I'm using it here. Let's just set this as a variable. Impact point. There you go. So I don't have to do this every single place. Impact point. Good, good, good. Here, we also reuse impact point. The hit normal. I guess here we can also reuse impact points. Right. Here we can reuse impact point. Well, let's impact point here because I still want to offset it a little before him. So, do I even need this hit thing now? Hit normal. I probably should just get from here at this point. Impact normal. It's fine. This one, that's not a big thing. So we can now actually just remove all of this. Remove that. Where my overlap is still being used over here. Using to make sure, depending on the damage types and all that. Why does it do that? Why do I have a bunch of duplicate in here, unused variables? How does it? I think this only started in 5.5. This issue. There's not actually that many variables that are all named the same. So this is the trace for hit targets. This is play sound effect. This is the destroyed stuff. Destroy events. And this is deal damage. Deal damage. Yay. Look at that. I'm actually organizing it. There's a lot more room now here, so I can just do that. Wonderful. Oh, so much better. Okay. So this should now work with the blood stuff for the projectiles. Right? Yeah. Blood from the right place. Why am I 75% down there? I don't think I got hit 3 times. A 50. Man, it's when I'm looking at it, it all seems correct. When I don't pay attention, it's like, oh, I got hit for 75. Yeah, why did I get hit for 50 there? Why did I hit twice? That was definitely twice. Why is it multiple times? It should never print more than one. Hey, me. It. It did printed one twice. Hold on. Is it doing a hit and a collision? Let's check that it's happening twice here. Gotta fix the bugs. Yeah, prints one for himself. And he printed hello twice. Okay. Well, what should have been for himself, though? Keep that there and give me the print of hit actor. Get hit actor. It hit me once. The second thing was a cube. Why did I take double damage? I took double damage. Oh, I'm taking double damage because it's set up to explode on hitting a wall and hitting a character. And because it both happens simultaneously, it does both, effectively triggering a double hit. Because he has hit the... That's why. So, to get around that... To get around that... Because this doesn't do once, but this doesn't, right? Because you can't hit multiple things. The problem is what? The problem is projectile is too big and is spawning and hitting the wall when it shouldn't be. So I think the solution might be to just... increase the start offset on this. But then he'll miss me. And it doesn't solve the problem when he's against the wall. Ooh, okay. how do we go around that one? Let's think about this. If I duplicate hit actor and just do like, let's call it test, make this an array, and then do an add. This. And this. And then here I want to print the length of it. Hey Stormrun, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. One, good. Print two, good. Print two. Prints one. Well, only 225. Okay, do it again. I need to hit me for double, and I need you to print two. Hit me for double. I refused. You built a keyboard cats protector today. What is... How do you protect a keyboard from a cat? How does that work? Did you make it ice cold? Now it's refusing to do the double hit. There we go. Okay, it printed two. It printed two. Okay. So what we can now do is check if length is greater than 1. If it's not, we continue on. But if length is greater than 1, we want to prioritize only 1. I could just get 1. You know what? Instead of this, let's go back to the print string. I want to get the first one. What is the first one? Is it the hit, or is it... And is it consistent? If it's always the hit versus, or always the overlap, then we can control it just from a get now. Should be awesome. Either, I mean, technically speaking, we can use either one. It won't really matter in these situations, but I just want to see. Got 2x4, cut into 18 long and 9-inch deep, and put plywood on top. You were going to just put it over your keyboard while you're away, but you can still type with it. My cat's trying to hack YouTube, so you had to. So hold on. What I'm imagining, and you tell me if this is not the right thing, is like, here's your keyboard, right? Right, with all the keys. And what you've done is have built a platform that goes on top of it, where your hands fit here. But the cat can then lie on top of it and will not touch the keyboard. Yes. Okay. I mean, as long as you never have to really move the keyboard like forward and back, because like if I'm like leaning back, I like to pull my keyboard closer. If I'm like sitting like more forward, then I like to have it further in. But as long as you don't need that, then yeah, I mean, this will do it. Very nice. Also, out of curiosity, why is it called a 2x4? Because it's 18 inches long, which is not 2 or 4, 9 inches deep, which is neither 2 nor 4. Why is it called a 2x4? That's just a random question I have out of curiosity. Do you know? Oh, then you have been reworking your entire battle system, making it modular. Nice. I need you back next to the wall. I need you next to the wall. Oh my god, okay. There we go. Till 25. Wait, that was 50 though. Oh no, it said my name. It said my name and it hit twice. So if it only prints my name even when it does 50, then this will be easy. Yeah, player 0. Okay. That seems consistent. So what we can do instead is I mean, I could do a if the length is I need to figure out how to do this. Greater than 1. And it's not, then it does the normal stuff. If it is, we only want to send through one of them. What's the trick to setting through one of them? Because they're still both traveling through. It's just they hit this point. I mean, I could do a do once. Theoretically. And that'll do it. Reset attack. Detection. And then we can tell it to reset pretty much at the end here. Once it's done all the damage and all that, once completed all this, resets attack detection. I mean, a whole arena mode. Ooh. Worked fine, but then you tried using the blueprint and widget in story mode, but it was level specific. And now you're using third-person character for those. How did you make a character? Did you put it into the level editor or the level blueprint by accident? Is that why it was level dependent? I don't need this check. This is a pointless check. You know what? I can just bypass all of this. I can just always do this. Theoretically. I'm pretty sure I can just do that. Your cameras are on the level blueprint, yes. I recommend moving them outside the level blueprint. It's only for the battles, so it doesn't use too much FPS. There's no reason for you to have them on the level blueprint, especially for a battle thing that you would have in multiple levels. Move them to, like, the game mode or something. That's where I would put them. And then you could always spawn them in any level because they'll use the same game mode.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
What's up, Leo? Yep, I showed you. I mean, you could go find the VOD when I did. If you can remember which one it was. They're all there. Feels though if I'm designing a quest system, it shouldn't care about what game it's attached to, right? Correct. Well, yes and no. Yes, if you want to just reuse this at any point in the future. No, because you could absolutely just make it designed for the specific thing. But because it is just a quest system, it shouldn't be reliant on anything specific. No. You should be able to just plug in actors. But after that, right, the base can be modular, but you still might need to do like very specific things. Right? But theoretically, no, you could be completely modular using blueprint interfaces. And you just set up the interfaces later on wherever you use the quiz system. Why are you thinking of reworking everything, Leo? So now you're like, wait, is it not modular enough for you yet? Okay, here's what you do, Stormrun. You haven't started the system in depth yet? Okay, nice. In the game mode, right? In the game mode, what you do is you spawn the cameras there. Right, the game mode spawns them, so now it has a reference to them, right? You save them as variables. You put them in an array. And then you do this while you go into battle. And then you can activate the cameras, as I showed before, which you'll need to either look up or find the VOD. And then when you're done with the battle, you just go in the array, right? You just go delete actor on all of them. And just like that, you have a very modular system that spawns your battle cameras when you need the battle cameras, where you need the battle cameras, and then gets rid of them because they're not needed. And it's not level dependent. It's not nothing. Now you could absolutely keep like just spawn the cameras once and then just move them into position. That is also absolutely an option. They're just cameras. You can just, instead of spawning and deleting, you can just spawn them once and then just move them into position. Same result. It's just a matter of what do you want. But either way, it's done in the game mode as an option. And so it's done only once. And it's not related to any specific level. In previous game, you used blueprint interfacing for something, but you can't remember. Maybe it was saving. Blueprint interfaces are used for like lots of stuff. It made you start thinking about how you want to structure it. Makes sense. What does they need all the cameras for? Yeah, he has a battle combat thing, but you could just look at it from multiple view. Like a top down, like maybe a 3/4, right? Maybe a free camera. I don't know however he has set up, but he has multiple cameras for when a battle happens. And he just wants to swap between them. Or just, completely fine. But because, from my understanding, they are relative to where he is in the world, and not like, it's not like you go into a very new level that is the battle zone and the camera's already set up. It's relative to wherever you were. Because the battle happens there. So that's why the cameras need to be positioned relative to where he is and all that good stuff. Why not just have the save relative positions then? Absolutely could be that. You could parent the positions to your character, but I don't know if it depends on, is it relative to the player? Because if the player is not the center of attention and it's to the side, then what if the enemies come from the other side, right? Then the cameras can't be here. They need to be here, right? Because it needs to look at all of them. So it's a little more than just, let me just parent it or something like that. But yeah, it depends on what you need. Found something that worked a long time ago and use that method, even though it was flawed. Hey, everyone starts somewhere. If this relative position offsets, then it would be whatever the camera is attached to would inherit. Yeah. What I mean is, let's say this is the player, right? And let's say you have a camera behind him, and then looking this way, and those are your cameras. And it's cool. The enemy shows up here. Perfect. What if the enemy shows up here? What if the enemy shows up here? What if the enemy shows up here? It's also relative to, if it's relative to your player, that it's also now tied that if your player rotates, they're also going to rotate. Right? It starts, once you start like, okay, well now it has to be like, it has to be relative, but it has to be not be relative at the same time. So that's why, if once you know where the enemies are, let's say the enemies are here, you'd be like, okay, what is the like a bounding box of this area? And then based on the bounding box, then we can be like, you know what? I want the cameras here, here and here. So you can do it based on a bounding box. You can do it based off it. You can get the actual location, and you can do like it over the shoulder then. But either way, right? You need to know first where things are. If it's like an over the shoulder type thing, then obviously you can do it whenever you want, but you get the point. Once you start really thinking about like every scenario where it could be, assuming that open world or cameras just placed, it could get a little more complicated. But theoretically, your solution would completely work fine. If he never hits me for double anymore, oh god damn it, he hits me for double. How? Because it triggers once. If I did a sequence, and I did a delay until next tick, so the same tick, it could not do 2 hits. Maybe that's the solution. I guess if it's bounding blocks, then the relative location will be dynamic as well. Anyways, you get what you're saying. Storm has work cut out for him. Yeah. You can absolutely set it up to be full modular. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly how you want it to work. That's the main. You have your quest system inside of one blueprint called level assets. I mean, depends on like how you're doing the quest system, right? So, like, you could. What you can do for a quest system, if you want it to be modular, is you have your main like actor in the level, or like a component or something that goes like, let's say, with a game mode. Does the game mode have an actor component? I'm not sure, but you need one thing that manages your quests. You'd be an actor in the level. And if you use blueprint interfaces, then you could say, using a blueprint interface, it is reading blueprint interfaces and then telling it, oh, you're doing something, or you're removing something, or you're changing something in a quest. And then what you can do is use that blueprint interface on whatever character you want that uses a blueprint interface to send yes, no, or maybe, or completion, etc. And at the same time, right, it's in both directions. It can send using the same blueprint interface the other way, but it's always from like one quest manager hub thing. This is how I would do it. Different subsystems for evaluating the task conditionals and tie it to the quest subtasks. It basically is attached to the main quest object. That sounds very complicated. I'm just doing quest. The thing is, this doesn't take consideration, you know, conditionals or stuff like that. That would need to be, obviously, you need to figure out how you want to track those, but that depends what kind of quests do you want. You could set up, you can have several different types of quests, but then again, the yeah, you can create a base struct that it uses, again, fully modular, then etc, etc, etc. It's definitely not a, you know, 75, 50, good. So now we're no longer taking double damage. Okay, I think we finally fixed the double damage problem. And the not taking damage problem. Yep. Main quest object contains subquests. Subquests each have conditional to have you met, exile location, or collect X or Y, etc. Yeah, you could. It's it's not a simple A check A equals B and call it a day, right? But you can make it modular by like say, you could just have it check gameplay tags, where you could be like, you don't even just set that up. You should be like, hey, when quest is complete, then gameplay tag, does that match the quest's gameplay tag? If yes, you've completed it. That's it, right? It could be as simple as that. So when you complete a quest, it just gives you the gameplay tag associated with it, which is not which you can just code based on whichever game you're doing it, however you'd like your gameplay tags to be. But for example, that's like a very simple one. It's not any variables, so you just do basic gameplay tags. And then the subquests could be checking like, if you have XYZ gameplay tag, then, quest, Q becomes active. Stuff like that. I think we fixed it. He can't hit twice within 2 frames, but I think that's fine. If he can only hit every other frame, that's fine. What about structure with those subquests as booleans? You just run into so many booleans, and that's not scalable. It means you keep adding booleans. What do you have? Thousands of quests. You have thousands of booleans now. Better do with gameplay tags. You have thousands of gameplay tags, which is just fine, but it's easier to manage. I'm thinking of the for the subquest, it would have its own definition in a struct that would have an array of conditions that need to be met. Yeah, you could do that. But the conditions could be, again, just gameplay tags. When you get a condition met, you give it the gameplay tag, and then you just check, do you have the gameplay tags? Yes, and that's how you checks it. That's all the conditionals would be. So like if you need to, like, let's say, pick up 10 hides and 5 claws, when you pick up 10 hides, you get a gameplay tag that says quest dot 10 hides, and then quest dot 5 claws, and then when you submit and then it's like, oh, do you have this gameplay tag? Yes, cool, that means you've done this. Do you have this gameplay tag? Yes, that means you've done this. Then you can do a submit the quest, and then cool, and then you get a different gameplay tag that says you've completed X quest. New term for you? I've been using gameplay tags in my game for like my entire card system, so right, but then you don't have to worry about managing like a ton of stuff, and then all you need to do, right, is just have a a place on your character that stores gameplay tags, and then you just add or remove them as needed. It makes it managing like very simple. And if you know you're making a quest that we get 10 hides, then whatever calculations you have for getting 10 hides, be like, oh, at the end, just give it yourself a hides quest that hides gameplay tag, and then you can remove it afterwards, right? When you complete the quest, if you want to reuse, maybe you'll use the collecting of the hides somewhere else. Maybe you remove the gameplay tag if it's not possible to have them at the same time to reuse it for something else later. It could be lots of stuff like that. Obviously, saying it is simpler than executing it, but hopefully it breaks it down for you a little bit more. Yeah, gameplay tags for reference, you can do tons of stuff. So, like here, I'll show you. So all of my cards all come with a gameplay tag, right? So all of these have a gameplay tag associated with them. And you can do all sorts of things based on gameplay tag. So, for example, when I pick up a card, I get a gameplay tag associated with the card, depending on like if I need to or not. Sometimes it's just I need to get some math and I don't need the actual gameplay tag, but basically then I can go and use it however I would like. For example, actually, let's go here. If I go to... here. I'm checking if I have a tag that I got from the card. Do I have the tag Blood Feast? If I do, then we're doing something. Right? So then I just check, do I have gameplay tag? And if I do, do it. If I don't, then I don't. Right? And I use it like all over the place, especially in like damage calculations and all that kind of stuff. Here, I'm doing I check my gameplay tags and I do something based on which gameplay tags I have. Right? If the character has enfeebled aura, crippling aura, enraged, elite, or whatever, it does something different because now I've set it up that way. So you could do so instead of having imagine this was all booleans, separate booleans. You'd have to do like a separate branch into branch into branch into branch into branch, right? That would be such pain. So if you need a lot of booleans, you use gameplay tags. It is so messed up. That's okay. It can be a learning experience. It was cool seeing a rotating and floating Pokemon card in the open world. Nice. Fun fact, you can make a rotating card using just a material. Rotate. Rotate about axis. Is there a different one? Rotate around axis cheap. There we go. We want Z axis. Pivot point. get actor position is the pivot point. World position, rotate amount, probably time. Add a plane. Ta-da! I can make it two-sided. Now, to be fair, it has some visual issues. It's not perfect, right? But you can do it with world position offset if you want to. And it's a simple no too. Rotate around world axis. This is the cheap version. If I do rotate around or rotate about world axis, there's also fixed rotate normal stuff, which you might need to do. Yeah. Rotate. Where was it? Rotate around axis. There it is. This is the non-cheap version. Normalized rotation axis. Is that this? Pivot point, actor, position. I assume you. I've not used the rotate about axis. There you go. This is the non-cheap one. Yeah, quality-wise, this one's better visually. It seems like it has less issues. So, like visually. Yeah, the issue is with lighting and shadows. Yeah, Leo. But if you're doing like an unlit one, let's say this was like an unlit card that you don't care about lighting information on. This is great, right? Because if I did a let's say a texture sample, something on here. This mess, and then I made this unlit. Oh, I'm an idiot because I plugged it into the wrong thing because it's unlit now. There you go. Then it's perfect, right? All the shadow lighting problems, oh, who cares? Because it's unlit. So now it's just, and it's a material. So, and then you can even use the cheap one from before because it doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's all you need to make just a rotating object. You don't need to use any blueprints. There's another way also. In case you're wondering, there is another way. If you don't want to use it on a material level and you want to do it still per object, right? Over here in the detail panel, you can add a rotating movement component. And then you can say rotation rate 180, rotating local space, etc., etc. But this one you need to play or simulate. Do I need to do... No, hold on. Why it no rotate? Why you no rotate? Oh, it's not set to movable. Whoops. That's why. No. I didn't mean to click you. Simulate. There you go. And I can change the axis here. Do multiple axes. And just component now. I can change the information here. And that's just component. Now you only see it when it's playing. But who cares? Right. For this one, I think it's X then. What I want. Simulate. Yeah, there you go. An X, ta-da. And I can change the rate of it, right? If I want it faster, I can make it faster. Make it slower. Can make it super fast, right? But it's just a component that I can have an object with this or not this. It doesn't matter. So there's a lot of ways of rotating. Just simply rotating an object without needing to go in and create a blueprint class or anything else. When something that simple. Yeah.
Ads are here.
There's
Pausing
ways around
for
it.
Ads.
We're trying to make a Final Fantasy X style battle transition where it takes a picture of the screen. Oh yeah, I remember that. Made a glass cube, stretch it across the screen, and use chaos. It spawns in front of the character, breaks when the battle starts. That's not a bad idea. You need a renderer for that? It just captures the screen like a screenshot, and then use that in the post-process effect that would break the texture to that glass effect. I believe what I recommended for someone is to use a screen capture 2D to take a screenshot at a point in time, and then apply that to a plane, and then break the plane in front of it. So pretty much like exactly like that, except it would not be a post-process effect. It would be just screenshot of it applied to plane, shatter playing with chaos or whatever. You do cube, of course, and anything else. But similar stuff. Aim it. Goodbye, material. That's super advanced for way back when Final Fantasy X was made. I don't know if it was advanced. I mean, it was definitely interesting. I remember it in Final Fantasy X. Yeah. Yeah, it was this. Right? So all you, again, at this point, you can just overlay a, because it's dynamic, right? You can do it through a noise, you can do it through a lot of different things, you can just shatter it. You can do it dynamically, or you can make some pre-made ones. You can just make a few pre-made shatter effects, and then apply a texture on it, and then bake this animation in. And, you know, you don't have to make it dynamic every single time. You didn't realize they actually took a screenshot and broke it? Well, I assume that's what it did. A lot of old games have methods of manipulating data to do what you need to do. And if not, they'll make the tools to do it. Yeah. That's what I'm guessing, Leo, is they probably just made a bunch of pre-made stuff because it's cheaper to just pre-make it than having it calculate it and then worrying about the do it right. What if it didn't? Like, you know, if you make like, it's one of them. That right there is one of those things that nobody will care about if you do it procedurally or not. It could be the exact same shatter every time. That's not going to be why the game is like succeeds or fails. That's not why. So yeah, I'm sure they probably had a few pre-made ones. And he's went with that. Yay, I'm glad we fixed the problem. Yep. I need to turn off the debug and we're good. We can now attack. Okay. We're finally done with this. Where's the debug? We'll record your battle transition tomorrow and post it on your Discord. I think it's pretty neat. A few Niagara cascade effects and the breaking glass you mentioned. Nice. Nowadays you can have it completely dynamic because we have more robust methods, not so much robust systems. True, but those more robust methods and systems also require more compute power. So if you want to make it just more performant, you don't use those systems, right? Because obviously, you can shatter an actual piece of geo dynamically, and then use physics and like wind force to have it move along it and blow things as it moves along to, you know, you can do this whole thing. It's probably more expensive than playing a pre-baked animation on a plane, right? So, you know, yes, you absolutely can. Yeah, not so much for robust PCs, yeah. Or specifically for robust PCs where you'd use it. Yep. Okay. So, it's 8:40, and I meant to start with the I meant to start with the volcano fire meteor ability. And I forgot. Well, not even forget. I got sidetracked by trying to fix something else, which, you know, is good. I needed to fix it. So, but now we can return to this thing. ChatGPT said your CPU is from 2010, and I am an Unreal wizard for even getting it to run. Why would you need to stop listening to ChatGPT, Stormrun? I keep telling you. You can absolutely run Unreal on a 2010 CPU. I definitely want my glass shatter simulation to refract light and have ray tracing and caustics in real time. And refraction. Yes. Refraction is one of those things that I still do not understand fully. I'll be honest. Because, okay, here, I'll go another tangent. I don't, refraction method, index of refraction. If I make this translucent, make this translucency volume, I'll make the opacity on like 0.3. That's fine. Index of refraction. Where's the index? Here it is. Here. Right? Air is effectively 1. Helium, hydrogen, 1111. Water, 1.333. Ice, 1.31. Window glass, right here. Window glass, 1.52. Okay? Just note this. Window glass, 1.52. 1.52. Unless it's finally changed in why didn't it apply? Yeah, so this is window glass. Let's make it a little thinner, more realistic. But I'm sorry, when I look through my window, it doesn't refract this much. And this is why index of refraction still, I don't fully understand it. This is not very thick glass that I made. But that's refracting a lot. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this is actually how much it's refracting. But that's the refraction in Unreal. I don't fully understand. You're thinking it accounts for density? You're right. It doesn't. Yeah, you're right. But then what good is it? Right? It doesn't. The point is, I've never been able to get good refraction, like realistic refraction, with real world index of refraction values. So I don't know. The refraction is beyond me. It does refract. It does it like value wise. It does it correctly, but I can't use. Right, I can't use these values. So why even have an index of refraction as a thing? There's probably math that I'm missing, that I need to like take this window glass, and then I probably need to multiply it by like the thickness or something, but I'm not sure. But the thing is, but then it wouldn't work if the shape was not flat and it was like wobbly. Then what do you do? Right? Because it would refract differently based on the thickness of different areas. But then I guess you multiply it, I guess, by the well, no, you can't multiply. That's not a texture, that's geo. So I have no idea how you would do it. But yeah, right? Like if this is window glass and I'm looking at an angle, I should still see, right, this guy. But I don't. So I don't know. I'm not a refraction expert. Refraction still puzzles me. I'll admit it. You made a full 2K by 2K map and getting over 30 FPS, I assume? Keep getting number green. Learn LODs. Nice. Use the blue glass default starter content and change this color. It's better. Yeah, I don't have starter content in here, so I don't know specific material. For certain, someone that's probably made a proper index of refraction math for this material. I don't think it's possible. The reason I don't think it's possible is because the material has no way of knowing the geometry shape. So what I meant when I said the wobbly thing, let's say right now, I made a plane that is flat. But what if your piece of geo was this? This part would refract more than this part. But it's geo. You can't pipe in a texture into it. That's not... Let me throw in a texture here. I mean, you could somehow create a texture from the geo, but that would be a pain depending on how complicated your geo is. I'm sure, like, you can probably get it from, like, substance, to be fair. Like, a thickness thing. But you see where the problem lies. Right now, you're dealing with throwing in a bunch of texture maps now where normally you would just need an index of refraction value. So, yeah. It's beyond me. We found his Achilles heel math. Mine? Oh, there's a lot of Achilles heels for me. My own stupidity is one of them. You can get the vertex normal, but that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, I believe you can get thickness masks in substance, for example. But the point is, right, you're now adding a texture mask where you shouldn't need a texture mask because it should be mathematical. But because it has no information on the object's shape, it breaks apart. As far as I can tell. I could be full of shit, and I could just, again, I'm clueless about this. Because I've just never gone to look good. For a while, I was using the, like, actual index of refraction values. And when I was starting out, like, Unreal, like, a long time ago. And at some point, I said, screw it, I'm not using those anymore. I'm just going to expose the index of refraction value, and I'm just going to control it by eye. What looks correct. And for, like, window glass, I don't give it any refraction. 0 refraction on it. Like air. But window refraction is supposedly 1.52, which is insanely high. I mean, again, it could be that high, but the reason we don't see it that high is because it's so thin. She doesn't take it out. I'm going in circles. Back to volcano. Back to volcano. So we want to have good luck on your questing. What we want to have happen is this volcano gets spawned, let's say, like this big. And then after some time, it'll go up to like this big. And after some time, it'll go up to, full size. And let's say when it gets up to full size, it starts erupting. Erupting, like throwing like small meteor like spheres everywhere. And they'll either do damage if it hits you randomly, or it'll do or maybe it'll also then catch the ground on fire, and then the ground will stay on fire for a little while. Things like that. But First things first, we need to make it so we have an actor with this thing. So let's make a new actor. This is going to be BP volcano. Or yes, meteor volcano. The simple movement component based on integer or enum state. No. Because it'll also need to go down when you hit it a certain amount. So it's a little more complicated, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we'll see. We will see. Okay, first thing, let's move you down. How far do we want to move you down? Do I want to move you down, or do I want to scale you? I want to scale you. No, I like the idea of moving you up and down. When is it ever not a little more complicated? It's always more complicated than you think. Always. And if you think it's less complicated, it's because later on you will realize that it was more complicated. So, what we need to do now is, after some time, I wanted to move up. Now, what I might do I want to do it just on I could do it on a timeline and use the timeline to offset the amount. That could be the easiest way of doing it. So let's think about this. Let's do I don't know what I was typing there, a delay of, let's say, 3 seconds. And we'll do a timeline. This is our move timeline. Sure. Length is 1 second. Float. And I'm doing timelines, so I just could do a nice curve. So what we need to do is get relative location. Before we play this, we can just set it. So, because we need to know what is moving. Then I want to do a get move timeline. Set play rate. Divide 1, divide by the player rate. Right. We'll just expose these so we can control them dynamically. So play around with it. So that's how long it'll take. And then we do... we take our volcano, and then we do a set relative location, which will be its original location plus the track multiplied by variable. This is amount to move. Now, I have moved it down 190. So if I move it up 80, I think that'll be like 2 moves up. 80. Z. And let's get rid of you because you're going to be in the... Ta-da! And then when it's finished, we can do it again. The collision on this needs to be adjusted, I will say. Oh. It popped the second time. Play from start. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Oh god, it's flying! It's going in the air! There you go. So that is working. What I want to do is on finished, I want to check if here's relative location. If the relative location is on Z, is less or equal to, or I guess greater or equal to, actually, to -10. Because if it is, then we continue on. But if it's not, then we do the rest. Then we do it again, basically. Or actually, no, better yet. Different math. If relative location Z plus amount to move is greater than 0, then we don't want to do it anymore. And we'll actually do a string. All done. Okay, there's once. There's twice. All done. Yay! Good. Let's fix up the collisions. Yeah, that's good enough. Done. Oh, save. There we go. I can go on top. Not from every side, but for some sides, it can go on top. Okay. So this is now working. Now, it currently just moves up, right? But what I wanted to do is also shake as it moves up. So, I don't want to add to this. I want to set it. So what I'm going to do instead is create a make vector. I care only about the Z here. Random float in range. Minus 5 to 5.
Pausing for ads.
And we'll do the same thing for this one. And then we'll see, we'll reset it back unfinished. So make sure that the relative location is back to like default. And so it's not like offset by default. Although it doesn't matter where it ends. I don't care if it's relatively slightly off. That'd be better to have it exactly where I expect it to be. We're gonna get ourselves a rumbling, shaking volcano. I have the air conditioner running in the room, in the next room over. I don't know why I say it like that. In the bedroom. I'm currently in the living room. And it's so loud I can't hear the music pretty much at all. Okay, so then we do set relative location at the very end here, but we need to also get the relative location. Split it. Split this. There we go. Oh, no. Just Z. Right, so it sets the Z where we want it, and the others get reset. So let's see how this looks. I mean, that looked pretty good to me. I mean, I'll be honest, that looked exactly how I'd want it. It shakes up. Okay. Next up, collisions. Custom. I want to overlap the character here, and I want to block pawns. And so then theoretically I could do a component begin overlap. Still boolean block here. Good. This one not so much working. What am I using for the attack trace? I'm tracing character. I told character to... Oh, do I need to do character? I might need to do character block. That's all. Because this is a collision response versus an object response, I think I have to do block. So it is doing it because I'm hearing the sound. So it's playing the sound at location, so that's doing all of that. The problem is what it's doing is sending the damaged. So what I can do is let's reset this. Add, because I'll need to do an interface, not namespaces. Interfaces. BPI combat. Where's the take damaged? There we go. So now what we can do that we have this is a couple of things. First of all, I want to do a stop. Stop moving up. So in case it is moving up during this hit, I want to stop it. Then I want to basically do effectively the same thing with a new timeline to go down. And I can control... or I can do this again, but just change a few things by saying I can give it like a variable, just like move up. Be false. Or I guess move down. Easier. And then we will do play rate again. Although I shouldn't need to do it multiple times, but just in case. And then here, amount to move up. I'll do a select based off of the move down or not. So if we're not moving down, we're doing this. And amount to move up becomes Let's do it's too negative. Let's do minus 0.5. So half of it will go down. The rest, I think, should be fine. Also, I just realized that this happens only when it stops moving entirely. This should happen unfinished no matter what. So really, this should be like this. Let's see if this works. Ooh, that didn't work. Why? It does it does stop. Oh, then it plays from start. Just fine. The amount to move up multiplied by this. Is this not a negative value? Oh, I move down needs to be true here. And finished. We can reset it. Okay, a couple of things. It does... it worked, but not correctly. It worked, but not correctly. Why? Why did it start down? Oh, because I'm not, oops. I need to do this. I need to also reset the location, which I wasn't doing. Yes! There we go. Back down you go. Down you go. Down you go. There you go. So now it goes up. And I can make it go down. And it shakes both ways. This is exactly what I wanted. Excellent. Now the question becomes, do I want it to be based on the amount of damage I do to it? I don't think so. I don't think we want to do it based on the amount of damage. I think it's the amount of hits. That means multi-hit attacks will trigger it multiple times. Here's what we can do to get around this. Event damaged. Do once. And then when it finishes the animation, we can reset it. Custom event. Hit cooldown. This way, if for whatever reason it gets multiple hits at once, like it triggers, let's say, every tick because it's multiple attacks for 5 ticks. Or it gets hit, let's say, 5 times on a single tick because it's a multi-hit. It'll still only trigger it once, so that will nullify the multi-hit. And then off of true is where we'll do what happens once it reaches the maximum, which is going to start shooting projectiles. And we'll make it so if it's not, this is no longer true, then we won't have it spawn anymore. So I'll actually need this as a variable. We're in a variable. Max height. Perfect. Okay. I think that, honestly, I mean, it's 1 second right now. I can make it longer, right? Just for shits and giggles. If I made the play rate 2 seconds. I mean, that's not bad. Why is it going as far as it is? I feel like it's going twice. No. It's not. Okay. No, it's working. Honestly, 2 seconds is fine. I felt like that went longer. You know what's happening, I think? Is... It's the delay here, right? These trigger at the same time. It's playing. So what's... Okay. So I want to know if... Timeline... is playing. If it's not playing, then we can play it. If it is playing, then I probably want to wait, check in a moment. So we can do a delay. Let's 0.2 seconds is fine. And then we can check it again. So that way, as soon as it's done moving up, it will move back down. So it won't do it during the movement, during the animation of it moving down. That's why it was stacking. So there you go. Because I could make it so it stops the movement down to make it go up, but I don't like that. I'd rather it I'd rather have priority for the player than priority for this. So that's working great. We will also need to check that if it is below a certain amount. So we can check if this relative location Z is less or equal to. Let's see how far down I want it to go. Well, I guess less or equal to the base thing. So negative 190. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to hard code that. So what I can do is get the original relative location. Promote to a variable. This is going to be original volcano location. And here we can just do original volcano location. Split it and check if the Z here is smaller or equal to. If it's false here, you need to check against the false. And as long as it's false in both directions, then we're good. Right. So here, this is going to be max height, and here is min height, or min height, or I guess cleared depth. Min height, whatever you want to call it, that will do that here. Okay, I think we got a pretty good base. I'm pretty pleased with this. The only other thing I'll need to do, aside from all of the stuff with obviously the ability and damage and all the other stuff, is we'll want a control of how much we actually want it to go up and down. We'll need to a control of that. And right now it's starting as this. I don't know if I wanted to start as this. I might want to start it with it coming up at the very beginning. Like it starts below and then it comes up. We'll see. That's details that we don't worry about yet. But that is going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. New video Sunday coming up, showing how to use BCG with chaos destruction, or just fracturing, stuff like that. And hopefully people will enjoy that. Got to record that tomorrow. Yeah, good stuff. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night. And I'll be back Monday for some more volcano fun. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.